Hello and welcome to the Evergreen Care Trust DVD. The Evergreen Care Trust was established in May 2005 in Stamford in the southwest patch of Lincolnshire. Our services and projects are about promoting healthy ageing and providing practical support and care for older and vulnerable citizens. The work of the Evergreen Care Trust is a vehicle for churches to work together, for communities to work together, industries, businesses, schools, colleges, community groups large and small, working alongside statutory agencies to make a difference. And what is particularly exciting in the journey so far is just how much can be accomplished when we work together. Befriending was our initial volunteer project, and our endeavour was to meet the needs of those who found themselves bereaved, lonely and isolated. A simple project which involves two people who meet together for the sake of friendship. In August 2005, with the withdrawal of the Meals on Wheels provision, the Evergreen Care Trust approached the local authority and asked if we could work in partnership with them in developing a meal provision utilising their excellent sheltered housing accommodation facilities. They gave us permission to use their kitchen and dining rooms, and we set up meal provision with a 4-course meal in sheltered housing accommodation for the diners and residents. Since our initial project, we have now been able to replicate that meal provision across the town using local authority sheltered housing complexes.
I come for the company. I live alone. I wouldn't bother to cook for myself. It's just not worth it. But the company is excellent. The food is wonderful, and I can't fault it at all.
I like coming to Evergreen lunches on Mondays and Thursdays because they're good value for money. We've got a super chef you can't find fault with, and it's just a nice atmosphere and people are very friendly.
In September 2008, we launched one of our most exciting projects, which was the soup delivery service. Being mindful that there were still a great many people living in the community that couldn't attend our local lunches, we targeted some of Stamford's most vulnerable, folk who were coming out of hospital, recuperating from sickness or illness, or perhaps who'd already gotten into that downward spiral of not looking after themselves. And so we developed the soup service, which takes fresh homemade soup out into the community in stainless steel thermos flasks, complete with a goodie bag filled with home baking, both sweet and savoury. That's taken directly to their table, and as I say, targets some of our most vulnerable citizens. But take a look at this next clip.
My husband, who had several strokes, didn't really want to eat very much, and my doctor recommended your service to me. So my husband really enjoyed the soup, and it meant a day free for me, not getting a lunch, a big lunch for both of us. And I also enjoyed the people who deliver it because they're very cheerful. And the days they come, it means I've seen somebody or, chatted to somebody else rather than talk to myself here.
Our hospital-to-home support service was established to provide support for those being discharged home from hospital without family or carer support. And it's our hope and plan that over the next 2 to 3 years we will make our patch in the southwest zero tolerance for unsupported discharge of patients home from hospital without family or carer support. Advocacy support is an increasingly important role. We find ourselves standing side by side with our older and vulnerable neighbours, being a voice for the voiceless, providing practical assistance with form filling, applications, bill paying, and some of the practical things that they struggle with. Sometimes folks can find themselves, due to deteriorating or changing circumstances, struggling to cope with their home and their everyday lives. The Clean Team operation is about providing practical support where volunteers go in, blitz a property, restore order and dignity, and enable the person to live in their home comfortably. The Evergreen Home Support Service provides domestic, laundry and shopping support for you in your home. We understand that not everyone has family, friends or neighbours who are present and able to help with these tasks. We also understand that inability to cope with these everyday chores can adversely affect an individual's sense of well-being and control over their domestic circumstances. All Evergreen Care staff and volunteers are registered, CRB checked and provide 2 character references. The Trust holds public liability and employer's indemnity insurance. Thank you for visiting the Evergreen Care Trust. If there is anything that you've seen today that might be of interest to you or somebody you know, please don't hesitate to contact us. Alternatively, if you are in a community that is prepared to work together to serve its local community, then please contact us too. We'd love to share what we've learned and perhaps support you in establishing similar services in your community. Evergreen Care Trust, Ryle Road, Stamford, PE9 1YA. Telephone 01 780 765 900. Email office@evergreencare.org.uk. Registered charity number 1121423. Website www.evergreencare.org.uk.